Um, I mean, you can look back and think about certain plays that make a difference in the game, um, but just for us, big picture wise, when you talk about narrowing the gap, let's not lose our heads. It's 5 points total within 2 games, but that means we're really close. That just means we're not doing our job well enough in the little things to overcome that and to be in a better position. So, for us, it's playing each play, and that being the most important one. Um, Really, just a singular focus about just doing our job. Preparing, knowing the team we're preparing for, 100%. But then also, this has got to be the best week of preparation when it comes to knowing our game plan throughout the season. So we just have to continue to improve and just overcome our own mistakes.
When you have that margin of error that's so tight, how tough is it to play free and mindless and not think versus like can't do this, can't do that, and everyone's so tight?
Yeah, I mean, you never want to feel uptight. You never want to play not to lose. You always want to be the aggressor. You want to be confident in it. Like I've said in the past, we put the work in during the week. There's too much preparation to not go ahead and enjoy it and play free on Sundays. So we just have to carry it over and be confident in that. So it's just really go ahead and do your job. It's not a secret sauce to it.
Granted, a lot of things have gone wrong on the offensive side, from blocking to drop passes and everything, but how would you assess your performance so far?
Not good enough. I mean, obviously, I only care about winning, no matter what my stats are. Haven't taken care of the ball well enough. That's pretty much the only stat I really care about. So, I got to command this group better. I have to lead better. I have to make sure everybody's on the same page to where we are executing at a much higher level. That's the biggest disappointment for me is that hasn't shown yet. So I take full ownership for that as an offense.
Baker, through 2 weeks watching the tape, what would you say are the strengths of this offense right now?
We've shown our potential in little stints. We've shown flashes. We have to be more consistent. So you can see the explosive plays that can happen when we just do our job, when we string a couple good plays together. We're running the ball really, really well. I'd say for us, that's probably the strongest point for us right now. Overall in the pass game, we just have to be so much better. So run game, I'm really proud of that. So we have to keep expanding and growing in that area.
And then as a quarterback, how do you balance keeping your eyes downfield, driving the football, being aggressive, and at times understanding, hey, there might be a check down there, I should just take that?
Yeah, it's a fine line to walk of being really aggressive, but also just knowing we have these shot plays called, we have certain things called. If it's not there, play the next play. So check it down. Let's, like I keep saying, eliminate the negative plays. So taking a check down is pretty good when you can check it down to some of the guys we have. So that's definitely an area of emphasis for me this week. I'm going to keep expecting people to take away our deeper plays, and so to maybe be patient. So I'm going to continue to work on that.
Baker, Matt has continued to say that you're still kind of getting your timing and rhythm down, and that if he'd had his druthers, you'd have been in here before OTAs. Obviously, you weren't. Do you think that's still a work in progress, and you see signs that that's coming?
Yeah, I think anytime you get into a new system, it does take live games and real action to get to know, for Coach McEnroe to get to know me, and for me as well to get to know the system and really just see how this team plays out within these plays and what we're comfortable in doing and what we can really be good at. And so I think we're starting to learn more so over the last 2 games. We've had a good test with pass rush week 1. We've had a great test of different pressure looks and personnel looks last week. So for us, this is a really important week for us to continue to nail down our own jobs and be more consistent and continue to grow in the areas that we're good at. But there's growing pains. And the first 2 weeks were a really good test for us, but we just have to keep on pushing forward because there's a lot of ball left.
It's still early in the season. You said there's a lot of ball left. But how do you manage not panicking, realizing it's still early, but still having a sense of urgency to win?
Yeah, I mean, each week you need to have a sense of urgency to win. But the no panic mindset comes from the fact that we are just now going into our first division game. And so these are always a little bit more important when it comes to, look at the big picture for playoff race at the end of the year. Obviously, we're singular focused on one game at a time, but this is an extremely important game with it being the first division one. And so nobody's hitting the panic button yet. It also helps that we've lost it by a total of 5 points. So fix our own mistakes and just, play the game at hand and just correct it.
Baker, what jumps out at you about this Saints defense?
Their turnovers, and them being able to force and create turnovers. Extremely aggressive group, really savvy, a lot of experience on that defense. I'll say that. So they've seen every look possible, and they know how to punch the ball away and take it away from you. So we have to take care of the rock, and that's got to be the most important thing when you play these guys.
Matt mentioned third down being one of the focal points. What are some of the things that you're doing throughout the week to hopefully increase efficiency on third down?
Can't have any MAs on third downs. We got to be locked into our own plan, know the looks and expect the looks that we're going to get, but at the same time, just play ball, play fast, and react to things that we haven't seen before. And we just have to execute. There's no need to be any more uptight or anxious when it comes to third down. We just have to play our own game and go do it.
This team hasn't won at home in a calendar year now. I don't know if you faced that before Cleveland or not, but what the fans started to get a little unruly towards a home team. What's that like? And I know you weren't part of it last year, but what is that like?
Fans are there for the experience. We're here to play ball and win. You'd love to have the support constantly. It doesn't bother me just because I've dealt with boos in the past. We'd love to have our fan base helping us out with the energy, but when it comes down to it, if we execute, they're going to be loud for us. So that's what I'm worried about.
Jarvis Landry is, of course, on the Saints now. Obviously, you guys play the same side of the ball. This the furthest thing from Baker versus Jarvis. What I want to ask you is, now that you've had some time in retrospect to look back on both your guys' time in Cleveland, just what did his presence there mean to you at the start of your career, just throughout?
Yeah, Jarvis is one of the best teammates I've ever had at any level. Just not from a knowledgeable football player standpoint. He's one of the smartest guys I've ever been around, but just the man he is, the leader he is for younger guys, that he truly does want to impact and help out. He's never looking out for just himself. He only wants to win. So I know what that guy brings to the locker room, so I know New Orleans is happy to have him, and he's back home, so he's happy. But it's fun to see him in a different spot and enjoying it. But he's somebody that's been a really, really big piece in my life in the first start of my career to help me, stay even keeled through the first 4 years.
We got time for a few more.
I wanted to ask this. Certainly the goal is to win. Matt Rule mentioned some of the things, though, that you likely learned through heartache. You even referenced being so close in these first 2 games. What do you take from that perhaps helps with ease or even the mentality amongst the entire team as one of them?
When you look at it as saying we're so close, I think it also puts it in perspective for, we are a young group as a whole team, but it puts it in perspective of the margin for error of winning and losing in this league is so small, and those little plays and those little things and details do really matter. And so it's better for us to learn these lessons early on rather than later on down the road. And so I'm hoping that we can truly turn these experiences into lessons and use them for the betterment of our future.
Do you feel like, since there's such a small margin, it's hard to turn on right now, get the wins? Do you feel like once you get it turned on and you get into the winning territory, do you feel like it's something that you can get out and run with after that?
Yeah, I think anytime you can get momentum going, especially with a group like we have, we're all kind of waiting to see, like, hey, why aren't we starting fast? Why aren't we playing better? But, we all keep saying it. I'm pretty sick and tired of saying that we're that close and we're right there. But that's the good part about once you get started, it does help to create that momentum going forward. Thanks.